Well, it's finally happened. Congratulations, African National Congress, while you're busy running around being bumhurt because Andre de Ruyter has exposed your bare backside and your corrupt methods and ways. You have been added to the gray list. That's right. These are the countries that have poor mechanisms to prevent illicit trafficking in finance and also in financing terrorism, illicit financial flows, basically. The gray list has been something that's been expected for a long time. Back in 2019, it was determined that South Africa failed at all 11 measures of effectiveness in combating money laundering and financing of terrorism. And quite frankly, folks, this isn't news to me. I've known this for 2 decades that South Africa is a hub of financing for terrorist flows. A lot of terrorists like to use South Africa with a sophisticated financial network, which make it possible to move money around. Now, this despite the efforts in the past of South Africa's at one time not corrupt government. But the ANC cares very little about the flow of money illicitly. I mean, let's just try to explain the money that was found disappearing from the Pala Pala game ranch. Can we say foreign currency violations? Can we say tax evasion? Can we say, how do you pay that much money for a bull and never receive it? Or bulls. Anyway, South Africa has been graylisted now, folks, and this means more misery for the ordinary South Africans as measures will not be helping ordinary South Africans, overcome this mess. Surprisingly, Nigeria was added to the list. Expectation was that Nigeria would not be added to the gray list because they had reportedly been making progress in their actions. Now, this all comes from Financial Action Task Force, the FATF. The FATF today said that South Africa's inclusion is not a surprise to most people. Now, Nigeria and South Africa added to the list of gray-listed countries, but Morocco and Cambodia, of all countries, were removed after making progress to improve their control over illicit financial flows. A 2019 evaluation concluded that South Africa fell very short in all of the 11 criteria that FATF had set for effectiveness in countering and combating money laundering and financing of terrorists. Now, if you look at this online, you look at media outlets, it just reported in the last 2 hours. Business Tech will tell you that this was a consequence of President Jacob Zuma's 9-year rule. Yeah, if you took another look at it in 2023, you would find that things have not improved. In fact, they're probably worse under President Cyril Ramaphosa. South Africa is not committed in any effective fashion to combating money laundering and or terrorism financing. At one time they were under the ANC, but certainly not the case today. Now, the Central Bank of South Africa has warned that the gray listing could have far-reaching consequences for the financial system. Yep. Capital and currency outflows, and that will be coming, folks. People will be repatriating their money out of South Africa, further crimping an economy that's already suffering badly as a consequence of the ANC's blunderous lockdown, which destroyed thousands of hotels, hospitality organizations, restaurants, people's businesses, their lives, completely vaporized by idiotic, moronic, nonsensical decisions taken by the National Coronavirus Command Council, inept, non-compliant with the Constitution body that was capricious and not accountable to anyone. Yes, that same body which destroyed the tobacco industry domestically, that same body which destroyed the lives of many people through its idiotic actions and nearly crippled South Africa's wine export business with a moronic decision to ban the transport of alcohol, ban the picking of grapes. Seriously? That's what they did. These people couldn't rub two sticks together and get anything, let alone a spark. Yeah, anyway. Finance Minister Enoch Gondwana last month said the country was hopeful that the regulatory amendments to address the country's shortcomings in tackling illicit financial flows would help it avert being classified. Yeah, well, it didn't work. It didn't work, and that's because your steps are lukewarm and insufficient. Now, FATF has put you on the gray list. South Africa is officially gray listed. You will see currency flow out of the country. You will see the rand continue to decline against the dollar, perhaps even the euro and the pound, as South Africa's economy comes under further pressure. But at some point, owning a home will become very attractive to foreigners, and maybe that will help stem the flow. As the rand collapses, homes become cheaper to foreign nationals, but more expensive for South Africans importing everything that they need from China. Now will be suffering yet more pain because of this corrupt, inept, racketeering organization masquerading as a political party, the Angry Naughty Children. Gray listing may increase the government's foreign funding costs and affect currency flows. In other words, interest rates will be higher for a less creditworthy and less reliable financial partner, i.e. South Africa. Yeah. Now, the business tech says unlikely to significantly affect South Africa's creditworthiness. Well, I disagree. South Africa is already in junk bond status. So maybe it doesn't affect it. How much worse could it get when you already have junk bond status? A country that can't pay its bills, a political party that doesn't pay its employees at its own headquarters. It is horrific beyond belief. I've just experienced yet another 2 hours of load shedding, sat here losing sauna-like weight, sweating profusely, not moving in 90-plus degree temperatures in Northwest Province, while the ANC's failed, inept, corrupt parastatal ESCOM failed to deliver electricity to customers who are paying for it. Yes, and so the power's back on. I have aircon on now, so I'm not nearly expiring as I was a short while ago. Well, there you have it, folks. South Africa is graylisted, and that is not good for South Africans. You will be looked with a view askew because of your government's inability and unwillingness to take effective, normal, standard international measures to interdict and prevent money laundering and the financing of criminal and terrorist networks. Greylisted, well, junk bond status, graylisted, 7 million people with HIV. Wow, no electricity. Boys, ANC, you have really done a great job fulfilling the liberation struggle dream. Really. As Sir Ramaphosa is fond of saying, Bantu education was worse than no education at all. You know what? ANC governance and ANC Bantu education are worse than no governance and no education at all. And that's it for now, folks. Graylisted is South Africa. Not a good sign. Not a good look. Take care, folks. Be sure to give us a like, leave a comment behind if you don't mind, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Cheers, everyone.